Welcome to the ERL Formula E Series then. Here in Monaco, Leclerc on pole from Puff and Remy Lebeau. Then it's teammate Jonathan Sims and Revo, with the championship leader Marcus Nelson starting 6th. Tonali Gabo is 7th from Ronnie Sola and U-Cable. Then it's Versio up in 10th from Sebastian Ocampo, teammate Juan Todoroki and the Red Devil. Iker World is 14th from Charles Hernandez and Carlos Sainz. Then it's Oscar Folstedt, Daniel Baltasaro, Scotland Rossack, Francis Austin, Elliot Dele, and Cosmas Medicis. Returning to Monaco, the glitz and glamour, Lawless Leclerc on pole, you are Puff alongside, all 5 lights go on! And we are green here in Monaco. Great start there from Puff off the line. Looks to try and get alongside with Lawless Leclerc coming through Santa Block. Leclerc, of course, with the inside line, so holds the race lead. But he's still got Puff all over the back of him. On board we go with sends it down the inside. 3 Casino Square they go. He's alongside still with Leclerc, with the 2 Sims Motorsport drivers right behind him, also going side by side. Right now in front, however, it is still Lawless Leclerc, the home favourite, in front of Puff. And now Jonathan Sims, Marcus Nelson, the championship leader, heading into this race by 1 point, up into 4th position. Hernandez further back, 5-second time penalty. That's with colliding with Iker World, but coming through the Nouvelle Chicane. That's a big move from Ronnie Solas. Juan Todoroki gets a 5-second time penalty into the wall there. That's one of the powers. That's U-Cable. Oh, big pile-up out of the Nouvelle Chicane. You can see Medicis heading through there too. And that is the number 89 of U-Cable. He's now got front wing damage, also off both of the app drivers. But it's only the number 89 who's gotten major amounts of damage, and of whom we expect to see coming to the pit. But on lap 2, it is still Leclerc in front of Puff and Jonathan Sims. And we've got some news in terms of the ERL Formula E Series. It has been officially confirmed. Ronnie Sola and Juan Todoroki will not be continuing in the ERL Formula E Series for season number 25, which is actually quite surprising to hear, especially for Juan. Always showed so much optimism, but he's announced his retirement. As we're on board with the 11 of Jonathan Sims, who took his first career race win in Las Vegas. Looked like a potential championship challenger, but that championship challenge for both Sims drivers seems to have fizzled out. Now, while they can produce some very good races, those are now few and far between. Leclerc sets a new fastest lap. And you do have to remember, Leclerc is certainly a championship challenger. The reigning champion in terms of everything from the ERL, but not the reigning Series champion. He's the reigning chase champion in that 16 car. Sims setting a fastest first sector of anyone at 16.8. But of course, Leclerc leading the pack now by roughly a second. We've got a full course caution further back at Iker World. Oh, that's a really weird place to pull off the track for Iker. We're hearing reports now from the Pinnacle Motorsport team. Issue with the car. Overheating, we're hearing. So that's why Iker is out, and we've gone off a full course caution of the day. Full course caution ending. We go on board with the 89 of U-Cable, and that front wing damage not helping him. Power Motorsport running a special red livery this time out. This is the most red that we've seen on that Target Power Motorsport car in a while. And we've now got 15 laps to go here in Monaco. The Monte Carlo ePrix, known for having the most amount of laps of any race in the ERL. At 19, of course, is one review of Puff, who's defending from Jonathan Sims, but this is one of the things that you've got to know about this track. In the ERL 01s, overtakes were possible, but they weren't common. In the 02s, I don't know if they are that possible. This could be a track that we could leave, but I don't think we ever will, just because of how scenic it is. There's also a possibility of us seeing some better racing with the the future ERL 03s. And we are hearing reports in IndyCar that they could go their own separate way with the first ever ERL iCar, that is ERL IndyCar. So we've now got 14 to go, and you've got Revo, the reigning champion in the slipstream of Ronnie Solar in front. This little comeback season that we've seen from Ronnie has not gone perfectly, but it also hasn't been that bad, in my opinion. You've seen worse comebacks, you've also seen a lot better comebacks. So for the number 46 to currently be up in 6th today, and be unanimously beating out his teammate, you know, it is kind of what you expect from the first British ERL champion. We've had 2 British champions so far in the ERL. If UAPOV can stick the landing this season, the United Kingdom will become the country with the most ERL champions. 3, overtaking the Philippines, who have 2. And as he now heads down, Anthony knows that 9 car. Still quite a ways to go to keep up with the 16 who's pitted. Also into the pits, Jonathan Sims and Ronnie Solar. This race could be a very strategic race indeed, with 13 to go. As you can see, the 13 of Marcus Nelson trying to close up to the back of UAPOV, but it's only so much that he can do. You can see the 27 of Remy LeBeau, of course, up in 3rd. Red Bull Sims Porsche, of course, announcing that they have pulled out of IndyCar at the end of Season 3. We are hearing rumours about an increased calendar length in Season 25 to 25, despite the cap of 18 races being implemented after Season 22. It would be interesting to see a 25 race long season, but of course for the teams it would be absolutely hectic. There's always that likelihood of holding multiple races in a single country, of course. As in comes UAPOV, race leader in the 9. That now goes to the championship leader in the 13, Marcus Nelson. We've had 1 retirement so far from ICA World. This is the ERL Formula E Series, race number 12 in Monte Carlo. Back here in Monte Carlo on board with Marcus Nelson, who's leading. We've seen some drivers funnel their way into the pits. And we do have some news, aside from, of course, Ronnie Solar and Juan Todoroki announcing their retirements once again. Have that rumour of 25 races next season. But Hyperdrive Racing will return to Formula E in Season 25, partnering up with the DS Virgin outfit, as they're known as right now. So that will see, that will likely see, of course, Sebastian Ocampo still driving blue next season. McLaren TGR will return to Formula E as a whole entity in Season 25. That's McLaren partnering up with Toyota for 1 season in Season 25, as we're on to lap 8 of 19 and Gabo comes into pits. That Dragon Racing team will partner up with Nissan in Season 25, and Akshay Flaudi Sport will become Mahindra next season. And this will mean that every championship-winning constructor will be back on the grid for Season 25. That's very interesting to see for an anniversary season. As you can see, that's Kwon on the back of Tenali Gabo for the Welsh-Japanese driver. It's not ideal to see drivers leave, especially drivers as good as Kwon. But of course, this is his decision that he's made in that 66 car. Hernandez, 10-second time penalty. Rossack comes in as well, and these tyres, they're lasting quite a long way. 8 laps on the softs for Marcus, 8 laps on the mediums for Remy, so it's all going to come down to tyre strategy in this race. Theoretically, I feel like the top 2 could do 1 more lap if they were really pushed to, and Remy will. On to lap 9 of 19, 9 laps for Remy LeBeau on those mediums. He's trying to do the one-stop strategy if he can come out on the hard compound tires like Cable just has. And he's now a lap down, is the Season 10 and Season 21 World Drivers' Champion, and he's holding up the pole sitter of Lars Leclerc. Revo getting passed by Puff, but they're still going side by side, as you can see. Now the 9 in front of the 7. On board we go with car number 7. And Cable holding up his countryman. We're hearing rumours of potential races in Scotland, the northern region of the United Kingdom, as from the outside on the number 89 goes to 9. And for Puff, that's going to be very interesting to hear if he can have a true home race alongside the London E3, which has held a race in every single ERL season and every single ERL format in Formula E, aside from the clashes. Side by side they go to Clerk and Remy LeBeau, but Remy, of course, diving into pit row. Attack mode for Puff as we're on to lap 10 of 19. You can see the Sims man coming into the pits there. On board we go with car number 9, Puff. Still in the slipstream of Clerk. There's only really one part of the track where you can make overtakes confidently, as Revo's also come in. Hard tires going on for Remy LeBeau, so he is going for the one-stop. The Red Devils set a new fastest lap of 103.566, so lap times in the O2s in Monte Carlo quite a way slower than we've seen in the O1s. And still we are on board with Puff, trying to close up to the back of Lars. It would help if there was attack mode coming through the tunnel, but there isn't, and he's lost a lot of time. 2 seconds is now the margin, and it's actually just about increasing with every second. And it does seem like that first sector rather is where most of the issues lie. As into the wall for Marcus Nelson, the championship leader with front wing damage. After coming out of the pits only a lap and a bit ago. For car number 13, he's gonna have to get to either the end of this lap with that, or make the way through the rest of the stint with that damage, and he'll do the rest of the stint with it. Rear wing wide open with 8 laps to go, as Marcus Nelson now with damage. He's going to have to limit the amount of damage that's going to happen as a result of this, because either way, Puff leaving Monaco will be leading the championship. If it finishes like this, he needs to get a move on, does the number 13, if he's going to take his second World Drivers' Championship. As you can see him coming out of the station hairpin, heading down into the tunnel. And he's losing time to Rodney in front. Denali Gabo closing up to the back of the number 13. On board we go with the Faraday Future Dragon Racing driver. And he's not close enough to make any sort of move. On board we remain with the 29, and he's losing time to Marcus. And of course losing that downforce actually gives him a faster car going out of to back. Through the swimming pool and now up through Anthony Nose. Heading down the hill with 7 to go. And onto the main straight we are once again. It's a much straighter main straight than some expect. And 7 to go, and actually a lot of pace being picked up from from Marcus rather, heading up the hill, and 3 lap newer tyres certainly offsetting the lack of downforce that the 13's getting. We've got some dark clouds over Monaco, and rain at this track always known to spice up the race. And now for Sola, doing something that he's never really had to do before, trying to defend from Marcus, but again, once they get into the high speed, there's just no pace in that 13. As we look further up front to Puff, having lapped Francis Austin, his hard tyres beginning to show signs of wear. Clerk's mediums showing a lot more wear, but the top 2 staying out to start lap 13. It's definitely very grey out there. With 6 laps to go, in comes Marcus Nelson, goes on to mediums to fix that front wing as well. Not too sure if the smartest move was to pit now, because he wasn't losing positions, nor was he really losing time. 6 tenths of a second the gap between the top 2, 4 tenths, 3 tenths heading down into the station hairpin. You are Puff absolutely harassing the back of that Pinnacle Motorsport car. But now, heading into the tunnel, this is where he needs to be using that attack charge, and he is using that attack charge. He's closing into Leclerc. Can he take the lead here in Monaco? Going for his second Formula E race win for you are Puff. Took his first at what amounted to his home race in London. And he's looking to try and take his second out what could be described as the most prestigious race in the ERL to win. Scadolin Rozak has come into the pits for his second stop, and we expect him to be going on to another set of dries and softs going on. Rear wing wide open for you apart from the 9. 3 tenths as we've got 5 to go. Going through Saint-Devant, not making the move. Heading up the hill. On board we are with car number 9. Still looking for a way to get past Lalish de Klerk, the British Monegasque driver, going up against the Scottish in the 9. And still no move coming for you Puff. The next real overtaking opportunity for him, the next real overtaking opportunity for you Puff is out of the tunnel through the Nouvelle chicane. But he's too far back to really capitalise. He's 6 tenths, 7 tenths. He's not using attack charge. He can't make the move yet. So he's going to have to wait a little longer. Maybe they're hoping for rain. Bogdasarov's come in for his second and final stop. So we don't think that these hard tyres can make it to the end of the race. That's going to put Remy LeBeau into play in terms of the strategy. As you can see, he's squirming down the inside on Rodney Sola, takes 4th position. It's a Sims 3-4 for all of 2 seconds there. As you can see, Sola, the wily old fox, now diving into the pits. Leclerc's in, Leclerc pits, another set of mediums going on. You are Puff now leads with 4 laps to go. Pinnacle Motorsport are gambling on the strategy. They are hoping for no rain, because if it does rain, that's their hopes of winning in Monaco over. If it rains for Red Bull Sims Porsche, they are still holding down at 2-3. They've got enough of a time gap to manage that 2-stop, but now they've got lap traffic in front of them of Rossack and Medicis. So that's going to slow them down quite a bit. Revo in 5th now on the back of Sebastian Ocampo, and he's got his teammate Marcus Nelson for company. The Europe Path in the 9, he leads here in Monaco in front of the 2 Red Bull Sims Porsche drivers and Sebastian Ocampo as Quan Todoroki time penalty colliding with, oh, what a move from Ronnie Sola, but that's exactly who Quan collided with. On board with Hernandez, who's raced with Sola before. Look at this for a move. Tried to pull out there. That's 10th position for Charles Hernandez. Look at that for a move. Laps. UK ball now. That 89's had a terrible day in the office. And you are Puff pits. Medium's going on. Remy LeBeau leads from Jonathan Sims. And I think Sebastian Ocampo is going to be 4th here. Leclerc, this is the man that Puff is racing on exit. And he's in front. Puff comes out of this pit cycle in 7th, but with very fresh medium compound tyres. Ocampo moves up into P3. Leclerc looking for a way to stay in front of Revo and maybe even get in front of Sebastian Ocampo. Can't make the lunge there because he's still got the 7 right alongside him. Round the outside goes Revo. As you can see, that 16 still in front of the DS Virgin Racing driver. And this is some brilliant racing for 3rd. On board we are with the 16. You can see attack charge in operation for the 76. And through that he remains in front. You can see the 16 absolutely confused as to where to go. Puff's now moved up into 5th. So this is still the fight for the lead. If the top 2 pits side by side and up into 3rd for Lalish de Klerk. That's a good move coming out of the swimming pool chicane. Puff looking for a move through Anthony No's corners. As into the pits comes Jonathan Sims. And on the 3rd to last lap now, Remy LeBeau leads from Leclerc and Puff. 3 of the best drivers ever to take a full fat regular season Formula E championship in the top 3 right now. And for Remy, he's just going to have to manage those tyres. His teammates done 10 laps on those hards. Ocampo's done 9. So I think Remy can make it to the end. The question is now whether or not he'll have the pace as he now laps Francis Austin, as we're on board with Scatterling Rossack in slipstream of Francis Austin. And for Puff, this is a day where he'll reclaim the championship lead if it finishes like this. But he'd love to finish second here, but he preferred to win. He's looking through to back into the swimming pool chicane. They come side by side, as you can see. Same thing happening with some lap traffic in front. Oh, into the back for Lawless Leclerc, into the back of Francis Austin. Gets past him quite quickly there, but that was some acrimonious ways of telling the number 23, hey, get out of my way, you are ruining my race. As once a penultimate lap here in Monaco, Remy LeBeau leads in front of Lawless Leclerc. Remy LeBeau, he's held a very good record to have, that being winning in every season he's participated in. He's currently one of the few, if not the only drivers to do that in their career and to still be racing. Not even B Dragon Sonic was able to do that, of course, with him not winning in the chase, and if he had won in the chase, he would have been able to win his first chase for the Cup. The Red Devil sends it down the inside on Sebastian Ocampo to take 8th position, and that's the risk that you have to run if you go that long. We've got yellows. Quanto Todoroki out of the race in the tunnel, forced there by lap traffic. Full course yellow. And we're hearing it's not just a collision, but also Quan himself, his car, like Ica World, suffering from overheating. So that's why we are under these full course cautions on the penultimate lap, which is about to become the final lap, and a potential three-way fight for the lead. It's the full course cautions end. We go back under green on the final lap for the Monte Carlo E3. It's Remy LeBeau in front of Lawless Leclerc and Puff. We go on board with the 9, but he's too far off the back. The 16, he's won his home race so many times before. But Leclerc stays in the slipstream of Remy. Will he go down the inside on the French driver in front? He will not. But still for the 27, this is his opportunity to take victory in season number 24. His 4th Formula E season, no, his 5th Formula E season rather, driving for Red Bull Sims Porsche, as he's still right in front of Leclerc, heading down into the Nouvelle chicane. That's really your last overtaking opportunity, but it's a good exit from Leclerc. Doesn't capitalise on it. Puff making this a three-way bout for the lead in the final sector. Leclerc looks down the inside and takes the lead, heading into Anthony Nose. It's a brilliant move from the number 16. Who would have known that on the last lap, Lawless Leclerc would take victory here in Monaco, and at the 5 seconds. Remy LeBeau in front by just 2 tenths. Then it's Nelson and Gabo the top 5. What a finish! What a finish for Lawless Leclerc to take that race win on effectively the line. I didn't see that coming through the swimming pool chicane, but that was brilliant from Lawless. Brilliant stuff from that team. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. As we're on board with the 83 of Elliot Deli. Trying to close up to the back of Oscar Falstad, but I don't think he'll be able to do it. Heading up the hill then for the man who spent most of his career at Chip Ganassi in IndyCar, but wow, that was brilliant racing all the way to the finish line for the top 3. And here is that top 3. Lawless Leclerc taking victory from Remy LeBeau and Puff. What a top 3 this is. To see the season 23 chase for the Cup champion, the absolutely magnificent Remy LeBeau, especially in his rookie season, and Puff, a man looking for his first career championship in the ERL. As for the rest of your finishers, Marcus Nelson came across the line in 4th from Denali Gabba and Ronnie Sola. Then it's the Red Devil, Jonathan Sims, Sebastian Ocampo, and Verspio. Outside of the top 10, you've got Robo, Hernandez, Kynes, Baltasar, Falstad, Deli, Medicis, Rossack, Cable, and Austin, with your non-finishers being Todoroki and Ica World. So in the driver's standings, Lawless Leclerc now leads the way, 1 point in front of Puff. And for your Puff, I just gotta say, this man can never find himself leading the championship. He's always 1 point off of where he needs to be. And 2 points behind you, Puff, is Marcus Nelson. We've got a 3-way fight for the championship. And you can throw in Tonelli Gabo there as well. From Sebastian Ocampo and Hugh Cable. Then it's the Red Devil, Rodney Solo, Remy LeBeau, tied with, not even tied with Quan Todoroki. Todoroki is tied with Ica World. Then it's Jonathan Sims, Revo, Salas, Kynes versus Theo, Hernandez, Austin, Deli, and Bogdasarov with Falstad, Medicis, and Rossack yet to score. We will take a look at the constructors' standings heading into the next round of the championship, and it is Panasonic Jaguar leading the way on 214 points from Pinnacle Motorsport and DS Virgin Racing. Then it's Power Motorsport, MS Amlin Andretti, Red Bull Sims Porsche, Faraday Future Dragon Racing, Mercedes EQ, Team Edams Renault, Toyota Gazoo Racing, and Appshape Motorsport, who are yet to score any points. We will see you guys next time then when the ERL returns.